Hello everyone. So today I'm doing my January book haul and a little reading wrap up. I'm gonna start by talking about the ebooks I got this month, and all of which I've read now actually, and then I will move on to the paper books. So the first ebook that I got this month was The Rest of Us Just Live Here by Patrick Ness. I really enjoyed that one. I'm definitely going to do a proper written review for it soon. I may do a vlog review, we'll see. But it also inspired me to make a video talking about obsessive compulsive disorder, which the main character has, which you can find on my channel. I will link to it down below. So that was a really good book. I definitely give it 5 out of 5. The next book that I got as an ebook was Just Like Heaven by Julia Quinn. This is a historical romance. A lot of her historical romance, if not all of them, are set in the same world, and I really enjoy them. I love historical romance. It's a fun, light-hearted thing to read, especially knowing that there's going to be a nice, happy ending. And Julia Quinn is one of the best historical romance writers, in my opinion. So that was a really good fun book. I got it via my library, same for just Rest of Us Just Live Here. And I got one more ebook from the library this month, and that was An Offer from a Gentleman, also by Julia Quinn. This was one of the other ones that my library has as an ebook by Julia Quinn, which I hadn't read already. I ended up staying up really, really late to finish reading this one. I was just going to read a little bit before bed, and then I just kept reading. Again, it was a really nice story. I will probably write a mini written review of this one and Just Like Heaven, but I probably won't do any longer reviews from this, apart from saying that it was a really fun historical romance. If you like historical romance and you haven't read anything by Julia Quinn, then I highly recommend that you have a look at those. The other paper books that I received this month, then let's go on to them. First up, I have an arc of All Is Not Forgotten by Wendy Walker. This one is a thriller. I haven't started, I've read like the first couple of pages, and that's one that I'm going to try and get to reading in February. This one isn't published to July, so we'll see. If I don't get it in February, no big deal. If you are interested in reading this one, let me know, because I will probably be passing on my copy once I'm finished with it. And it's always good to get more buzz for early books. Arcs are fun. Thriller isn't something I always read. I have a mixed relationship with them. Last year, I read The Girl on the Train and hated it. I also read In a Dark, Dark Wood and really enjoyed it. So it's ups and downs. We'll see how this one goes. I've heard good things about it from other people who have read it. Quite dramatic in places. We'll see what I think of that one. I definitely will give it a shot. We'll see what happens. I also got Always the Bridesmaid by Lindsay Kelk. I have read this one already. It was a lot of fun. It reminded me of Bridget Jones in a lot of places, if you've read the book of that. This book is about Maddie, who is an events planner. She works for a really horrible boss. She's been the assistant to this woman for 10 years, and shouldn't be an assistant anymore, really. She should have got a promotion. There's now a spot at work available for promotion, which she's been encouraged to apply for. At the same time as that, one of her best friends is getting divorced and another is getting married. And then Maddie is trying to keep everyone in the friend group together, as well as herself, basically, stopping her life falling apart, and dealing with her own romantic ups and downs. It was a lot of fun, and I really enjoyed this one. So if you're looking for a nice sort of chick flick book, essentially, then I would recommend that one. The next book I got at the London Drink YA event recently, which was a lot of fun, meeting some other bloggers and YouTubers who love to read YA and other books. Some people were giving away books, and one of the ones I got was Prudence by Gail Carriger. I have read this book already. I read it last year, but it's really good to have my own copy. I love all of her other stuff. I've still got a couple of her Finishing School series to read, but I read almost all her books apart from those two. This is just good fun, steampunk. There are airships in it. They go to India. India in the 1800s, when it's still very much a British colony and things like that. It was really interesting, especially when you add in werewolves and vampires. If you're not familiar with the series or who Prudence is, she's known as Rue rather than Prudence, and she has the ability to take supernatural powers from others to borrow them temporarily. So if she touches the skin of a werewolf or a vampire, she temporarily becomes a werewolf or vampire herself, and that person is turned to human. She gets into a lot of adventures. That one's good fun. I have reviewed it on my book blog, so if you head on over there, you can find that. Another book that I got this month is The Queen's Choice by Anne O'Brien. This one is a historical novel. It's said to be along the lines of Philippa Gregory's writing. Anne O'Brien has written lots of other books, but I haven't read any of them yet. I made a start on this one when I was bringing it home on the tube, but it's quite a hefty book, so I haven't yet made it a tube reading book. I might be brave enough to do that soon, just to get it read. This book is set in the late 1300s, almost. It starts in 1399, and it's about a woman and Henry IV, who was King of England at that point, and various political goings on. I've been doing really well at not actually buying books since I moved to London, mostly. I've acquired them from elsewhere, from work and competitions and things like that. But I did cave in this week. I was at the Super Relaxed Fantasy Club, which is a book club for fantasy readers. Takes place in London once a month, occasionally out of London, like when there are conventions on, they've had things there. This is the first one I had a chance to go along to, and it had a talk from two authors. Liz DeJager read from her newest book, which is the third one in a trilogy, and Dan Patrick read from his newest book, his latest book in his trilogy, the third one. And they did have books on sale there at a reduced price. I've read the first of Dan Patrick's books, and I did quite enjoy it. It was very interesting. So I bought book 2, which is The Boy Who Wept Blood, and book 3, which has just come out, which is The Girl on the Liar's Throne. Certainly, The Boy Who Wept Blood is one of the ones that I am aiming to read in February. This is a fantasy, as you might have guessed. It has a sort of Venetian setting to it. They're quite dark books. The first one it's a very interesting setting. So I'll hopefully read that one this month, and I'll let you know what I think of it. The last book that I received this month is The Shock of the Fall by Nathan Filer. This one is, I don't really know much about it. I've heard it praised a lot without knowing much about what it's about, and the back doesn't give you many clues. I think it's about mental illness in some way, I've heard. But I am looking forward to reading this one. It's not necessarily my normal reading thing. As you can see from the sticker, it was a Costa Book of the Year, so a lot of other people like it. I'll see if I can enjoy that as well. There were also a couple of books that I received in previous months or bought in previous months that I finished reading this month. The first one was Brighton Bell by Sarah Sheridan. I actually got this a while ago and started reading it a while ago when I was travelling to Spain. And it was just one that had been sitting on my Kindle and not quite getting very far. That one is about, it's set in 1950s, I believe, late 1940s, early 1950s, after the Second World War, and is about a girl called Mirabelle. She then acquires an assistant over the course of the story, and they are solving a mystery, and it's just a lot of fun. So those are all the books that I received and finished reading in January. Let me know your book hauls for this month, or any great books that you read this month in the comments, and I will have a look. Talk to you soon. Bye!